For today, we're going to go back and revisit our literal equations. So we're going to be looking at page 3 from your notes, and we are solving formulas. So to begin here, what does it mean to solve a formula? If we're solving a formula, we are using inverse operations, to get a certain variable by itself. So what makes this harder is that you'll see in some of these examples, well, all of the examples, that you have more than one variable, and we're going to have to leave that the way it is and just solve for whatever they ask for. So here we'll go through a couple examples. So for number 1, we're going to have the equation A equals L times W, and then we're solving it for W. So here you'll see that W is on the right-hand side, and I need to get W by itself. So I think, well, what's being done to W? So like I said, when I read this, it was L times W. So if I want to get rid of the L, I'll have to divide by L. So these answers don't look very nice, but this would just be that W equals A divided by L. On number 2, I'm going to solve for R. So here's R. R needs to be the only thing on this side, so I have to get rid of that 2k. So when I read this, I would read it as R minus 2k. So how do we get rid of minus? Well, we would add 2k. So now when I add 2k on the other side, 15 and 2k are not like terms, so they just get written side by side. 15 plus 2k or 2k plus 15. Because of how I snipped this, we're going to have to skip 3 and 4 and move over to 5. So for 5, we're solving for h. So I think how would I read this? This would be V equals L times W times h. So how do we undo times? We divide. So I'll divide by L times W on both sides, and we get V all over LW equals H. 6, we're solving for C. So first thing I need to do is get that 1.8C to be the only term on that side. So the 32 has to go first. So then I'll have F minus 32 equals 1.8 times C. Then I can divide by 1.8. So now the C is all by itself. So this would just be F minus 32 all over 1.8 equals C. Now we can revisit 3 and 4. So for 3, we're solving for H. So H is on the left-hand side, so I'd have to get rid of the 4k. I would do that by subtracting. So then that will give me H equals, and now when I look at the right side, there's 3 things here. There's a t term, there's a constant, and there's a k term. None of these are like terms, so I just have to rewrite them all together. So negative 2t minus 14 minus 4k. For number 4, we're solving for W. So W is right here. So first I have to get rid of this 2L term. And I would get 2W equals P minus 2L. Then I'll divide everything by 2. And we get W equals P minus 2L all over 2. For number 7, solving for A. So this is F equals M times A. So I'll divide by M. And then A will just equal F divided by M. And then for 8, this one's a little bit tricky because I'm solving for something that's in a denominator. So I can't solve for it when it's down there. So the first thing I'll actually do is multiply both sides by V. So then I'll have D times V equals M. and then I can divide by D. So V equals M over D. For your homework assignment, you're just going to be solving a series of literal equations, and you have two options. So this is multiple choice. So here's just the first three. So the first one, we already had this one in the notes. So we're solving for L. So if I wanted to get L by itself, I would have to, divide both sides by W. And that would give me that the length is equal to the area divided by the width. And then you just pick which of the two choices is correct. So this one would be O. So then on number 2, E equals I times R. I'm solving for R, so I need to get rid of the I. And so that would mean that R equals E over I. And then on number 3, this is I equals P times R times T. I'm solving for R, so I need to get rid of the P. I need to get rid of the T. So then the answer would just be T equals, I'm not sure if that's an I or an L, over PT. And just remember when you do this, you guys, you're using the inverse operation. So like when I look at number 1, there's no addition or subtraction, which means there's no addition or subtraction in the final answer choice. For number 2, same thing, there's no adding or subtracting. So you don't see any adding or subtracting in the final choices. So whatever operations you see in the original, you'll see those opposites in the answers.